For every action, there is a reaction. For every non-action, there is an aftermath. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. This is Shirley Hussar. I'm coming live from a place in America history that we have never seen before. A place where we are moving into a civil war and a Cold War. Now, the reason why we are moving into these two genres of America is because America is divided and the world is watching. You are going to want to like and share this video because what the president did was a 3D chess move that nobody saw coming. We are dealing with Republicans and we are dealing with Democrats who are treasonous against the American system and the American people. We are dealing with legislators who have been in office for 30, 40 years, who have a mindset that is disconnected from the ground, which means community and local legislation, from the state level, meaning from California to Nebraska to New York to Mississippi, to the federal level, where they act as gods of your life. And America and white America is losing their mind. Now, if you are white, meaning that you are Caucasian, meaning that you are a descendant of colonists, you might want to be patient through the process of my video. If you've never watched or listened to me before, you are going to want to pay attention as I educate you, because some of you guys are not educated. You're going to hear my view and you're going to hear Flagship's view. I'm going to bring him on in a second, but I need to open up. We're going to discuss first two parts. The first part, we're going to discuss President Trump's unbelievable exposure of government that he just did less than 6 hours ago. And y'all keep thinking this man ain't gonna be president. Let's keep this 3D chess game going because it's going to be real. Number two, I'm going to talk about white America. I'm not worried about offending anyone because for those who follow and believe in what I have to say, agree or disagree, we can have adults in the room. If you are an emotional liberal and if you're a conservative, a redneck that can't handle my words in conversation, you can mosey on by and just click the goodbye button and don't listen. But if you are a realist and you want to have a conversation with me, a discussion with me, an ideology with me of what is going on with white America and why I call it white America and why businesses are losing their minds across the country, especially in liberal states like California, New York, and Hawaii, and you guys don't understand that there is a Cold War going on between America and China, and you are living in a la-la land because you abandoned your black cousins, I'm going to help you with that as well. But let's start with the president, and we're going to listen to the president's speech, and then I'm going to bring on my guest, Flagship hanging there. I'm going to bring him on. I want to thank you so much. We got Way Too Real, who's on. And we got Tanya here. We also have Rick, and we got Terry. I thank so much for you guys coming on and listening to me. And I know Maureen will come in, but I want to break this down, and I really want to hear the opinion of others, but I need you to understand President Trump ain't playing. So let's go ahead and let's just look at where Mr. Trump is going with this, because the president is talking reality right now. Let's start from the beginning, people.
Throughout the summer, Democrats cruelly blocked COVID relief legislation in an effort to advance their extreme left-wing agenda and influence the election. Then, a few months ago, Congress started negotiations on a new package to get urgently needed help to the American people. It's taken forever. However, the bill they are now planning to send back to my desk is much different than anticipated. It really is a disgrace. For example, among the more than 5,000 pages in this bill, which nobody in Congress has read because of its length and complexity, it's called the COVID relief bill, but it has almost nothing to do with COVID. This bill contains $85.5 million for assistance to Cambodia, $134 million to Burma, $1.3 billion for Egypt and the Egyptian military which will go out and buy almost exclusively Russian military equipment. $25 million for democracy and gender programs in Pakistan. $505 million to Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama. $40 million for the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., which is not even open for business. $1 billion for the Smithsonian, and an additional $154 million for the National Gallery of Art. Likewise, these facilities are essentially not open. $7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico, a provision to promote the breeding of fish in federal hatcheries, $3 million in poultry production technology, $2 million to research the impact of down trees, $566 million for construction projects at the FBI. The bill also allows stimulus checks for the family members of illegal aliens, allowing them to get up to $1,800 each.
I'm gonna pause it here and keep them talking. I had to say something. You get 600, they get 1,800 each, meaning other people who are illegal.
This is far more than the Americans are given. Oh. Despite all of this wasteful spending and much more, the $900 billion package provides hardworking taxpayers with only $600 each in relief payments. And not enough money is given to small businesses, and in particular restaurants, whose owners have suffered so grievously. They were only given a deduction for others to use in business their restaurant for 2 years. This 2-year period must be withdrawn, which will allow the owners to obtain financing and get their restaurants back in condition. Congress can terminate it at a much later date, but 2 years is not acceptable. It's not enough. Congress found plenty of money for foreign countries, lobbyists, and special interests, while sending the bare minimum to the American people who need it. It wasn't their fault. It was China's fault, not their fault. I'm asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple. I'm also asking Congress to immediately get rid of the wasteful and unnecessary items from this legislation and to send me a suitable bill, or else the next administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package, and maybe that administration will be me, and we will get it done. Thank you very much.
Okay. So the president did a chess move. You remember how many times I told you there's 3-level game of chess? But that's what the President Trump just did. He ain't playing, because what you've had in this country is Republicans and Democrats who are treasonous against the American people. They have been aiding and abetting other countries. They have been equipping them financially. They have personally been pocketing off of this country. They have lined the pockets of their children and their children's children and their grandchildren, and they don't give a rat's ass about the American people. And the American people who have been quarantined, who have now an opportunity to read and think and look through the COVID mirror in their life, are in a state of shock. And many of you losers, and I say losers who voted for Biden, this is what you get. This is what's going to happen in this country from now on if this man does not get back in office. This man has exposed things that no other president or candidate or elected official would ever have done, because he is not loyal to a party or a system. There's an old saying in life, never mess with a man that ain't got nothing to lose. And get me to tell you, this is a rich billionaire who don't need nothing from none of y'all. And if you're going to take me out, bitch, I'm going to take you out too. I'm going to lay all the cards on the table. I'm going to throw every rock at the wall and break every crack in the wall that I can get. And that is what President Trump is doing right now in America. This is what President Trump is doing to the world. So if you think that this president is going out easy, oh no, he is not going out easy. When I stood and I spoke in Georgia, when I told those people, we are the what? United States of America. And when I'm telling you that the president that you are listening to right now has more cards in his deck than you may know, I'm going to tell you how I know. Nancy Pelosi, the crazy woman from California, my home state, stated, you know, Mr. Trump, let's get it done. Let's see what we can do. Oh, wait a minute. You're trying to negotiate now? Final hour? How many days before Christmas? 4 days, 3 days before Christmas? People are suffering. You want to give me $600, but you want to give money to Cambodia? You want to give $1,800 to illegal immigrants? You want to help all these other countries? You want to give money to Institute, Rich Art Institute, Kennedy Center? And then the FBI is supposed to be working for us. And y'all going to give money towards construction for the FBI? What you doing? Building more prisons for niggas to go into? I just want to know what the real deal is with this money. Because y'all talking about $600 and are increasing it to $2,000. Hell, why don't you just give American people $10,000 a family and call it a freaking day? Because what is $2,000 going to do? Buy me some hamburgers from McDonald's? Hell, eating at McDonald's is $10 to $15. What is $600 going to do? American people need real money and real food, and business owners need real money to subsidize the losses that they've encountered. But I want to bring on my flagship on right now. I want to ask him, and we're going to break this video again down about what President Trump has said, and then we're going to move on. Because we must talk about what is going on with businesses in California. And I'm going to tell you the answers they ain't telling you. I'm going to say the things to you that the media is not exposing. And if you are listening and you are part of white America and you are white, you are going to share this video, alert the president, alert whoever you want to alert, because I'm going to set some real truths out there. Shout out to Caroline, who's always my moderator, and I appreciate that. Ronald, I love you. Thank you for coming on. And Jacqueline, thank you so much. We have to expose these truths. We have Miss Aiken out there and Bridget out there, Brenda out there. And I love you guys so much. He is going to veto the vote. Yes, he is. He's going to veto that bill of $600. He has to. He has no choice but to do that. But I got to bring Flagship in here. Flagship, I've got you on the screen right now. I want to let's go back and let's break down where President Trump is going.
Oh, Lord Jesus! Could I just say something? Could I just say something to your white listeners? Because I think that your listeners are the non-racist whites. But even within the context of the non-racist white conservative who's not racist at all, they have made complaints. Who even under the context of not being racist, stating we complain too much. You guys always talk about racism. Racism isn't real. And I understand where you're coming from because you're not racist. And we thank you for that. We love that. But at the same point in time, this right here is what we have been talking about for decades. When we've been saying things is racist, it's rigged. What happened to President Trump is Monday for us. This is what we have been saying for decades right here. And guess what? To your white listeners, to the Kellys and the Bows and the Beckys, guess what? Y'all Keisha and Darnell now. Y'all about to be Keisha and Darnell with us at the bottom. That's the reality. So you're gonna know exactly what it feels like to be black, because y'all about to be down here with us with Biden gets in control. This is what we have been saying for decades. Now you know. These people are psychotic. These are the ones who have been in charge of our community. These are the ones who have been in charge of our money. These are the ones who have let all these people in from all these different countries. These are the ones who every single time we're like, okay, let's fix this, let's fix that. Oh, we can't fix, this over here. We got to go help these individuals over there, these immigrants over here, this rich group over there, the endowment of the arts. This is what we have been talking about right here. And President Trump got treated exactly how black men get treated every single day. His name's Darnell now. And guess what, non-racist whites? Y'all about to be down here with us.
And you know, the interesting part, as we said, like exactly what you're saying is so true. They're going to be down here with us. What white America has failed to understand is that we are their cousins. We have always been fighting for America. We go back to the Civil War. We go back to the Revolutionary War when we fought Britain. We were the ones fighting with white America, not the Chinese, not the Latino, not the Asians, anyone in the Asian community, not the Arabs. When we were at war with Great Britain, we were black and we were white and we were family, if we liked it or not. And I still believe that there are white Americans so scared to help the black man that they don't realize that there's a foreigner in their own homeland called treasonous white Americans. That's what we're dealing with right now. And people ain't getting no money. And he's not going to sign it. You can't sign stuff like this. You just can't, because it's not going to help us overall. It's going to be more detrimental. It's like a quick high, right? It's like someone who says, man, I like some candy. Oh, that candy was good. You don't even get the whole candy. You get a piece. You don't even get a candy bar.
You don't even get a piece. You get to lick the candy bar. Just get the little taste.
Okay. Okay. But let's watch his video again. I want to hear your input on what the president is saying. I really do, because I want us to break down this one more time.
Throughout the summer, Democrats cruelly blocked COVID relief legislation in an effort to advance their extreme left-wing agenda and influence the election. Then, a few months ago, Congress started negotiations on a new package to get urgently needed help to the American people. It's taken forever. However, the bill they are now planning to send back to my desk is much different than anticipated. It really is a disgrace. For example, among the more than 5,000 pages in this bill, which nobody in Congress...
Okay, let's start there. This is a COVID relief bill. Okay, he talked about a lot of things. It's a complete video of 14 minutes or more or less. I'm just going to play the 4 minutes because this is the part of this video where we're going to discuss we're not getting money. What is the president doing in this 3D layers of chess? This is a COVID bill, number one. It has 5,000 pages. Let's keep going.
Congress has read because of its length and complexity. It's called the COVID relief bill, but it has almost nothing to do with COVID. This bill contains $85.5 million for assistance to Cambodia.
Flagship, help me out.
I'm sorry. What neighborhood is that in America? What city is that?
Cambodia.
Oh, the city of Cambodia, California, or the city of? Is there a state named Cambodia? I'm sorry. Is there a new country? Is there a new state that we have? Is there 51 states? I'm just asking. Maybe I'm a little bit hazy.
They need help because they've got COVID relief problems too. So let's start with Cambodia. Let's help them first.
Let them die. I am not about to say I don't want any of our money going up over there. Oh well, they got their own situation.
Again, this is a raw and real video from people who are on the ground. And this is Flagship. He's saying, I'm sorry, Cambodia, you have a leadership, you have president or however you guys run your country. You might want to go to your government to fix your problems. Because our government has been so fucked up for so long that we can no longer help you when we cannot help ourselves. This is not putting the oxygen mask on yourself first, people. This is taking the oxygen mask and you are truly choking to death as you run through the airplane trying to help everybody put an oxygen mask on, and you don't even have enough air in yourself to sit down and put the mask on. Let's keep going.
$134 million to Burma, $1.3 billion for Egypt and the Egyptian military, which will go out and buy almost exclusively Russian military equipment. $25 million for democracy and gender programs in Pakistan.
Stop right there. Hold on. Stop right there. Hold up. You know what that means? You know what that means? Let's go ahead and support Hibachi. You heard about what they be doing over there, them little Pakistani little boys, right? They do that hibachi little stuff where they have these little boys that dress them up in trans and they have them dance before older men so they can go ahead and rape them afterwards. It's called hibachi. Yes, they nasty up over there. Straight nasty. And listen to that, $24 billion for that. That's that LGBTQAIP agenda.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Ain't nothing coming to me.
And think of it, 24 billion. Do you know what $24 billion can do for an entire community? Not just a community, for a state. That's real freaking money right there. That's some serious money. That can clean the dirty tapeworms in Loudoun County, Alabama. That can clean the nasty water in Flint, Michigan, and in Newark, New Jersey. That can create coding programs in our STEM schools. That can create the next generation of doctors, because right now we're losing doctors left and right. That could be new medical research. That could be for families to be able to pay their damn mortgage and their rent. This $24 billion ain't no joke. That's some serious money.
This is so outrageous that the news don't even know how to combat. If you notice, there's only Fox and CNN have just talked about it, but these liberal, hipster, we hate white men, crazy ass liberal women, they don't even know how to respond to someone that shows you black and white. How can you attack this? Let's keep going.
$505 million to Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama.
And those like the number one illegals, especially in California, El Salvador, Guadalajara.
How do you think they come into America? That's what they're paying for. They're paying for them to get the money together to bring them up in those caravans. That's the whole purpose of it. Because remember what Biden said. Number one, his number one goal is to bring 11 million new immigrants into the country, and then 500,000 more Dalits from India. That's his goal. Well, you need money for that, and you need to get them in here. How you get them in there? $5.05 billion to those countries. That's how it gets done. This what you see here is an extermination. This is how it's done. Just because you don't see people shooting you in the head, it's a slow extermination. It's a Cold War extermination, and this is how it's being done with the dang liberals. But you know what? Kamala will save us.
Oh, Kamala wannabe Black Harris. Okay, hold on. Let's keep going.
$40 million for the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C.
Fuck them. Fuck them. The Kennedy Center, fuck them.
The Smithsonian, and an additional $154 million for the National Gallery of Art. Likewise, these facilities are essentially not open. $7 million for reef fish management. $25 million.
Right, can you pause real quick?
I paused it. Go ahead.
Okay, so reef. Okay, so anything that has to do with like sea life to bring in new fish. Okay, we do need that, because that industry is a staple. Is a staple in I think it's like like Boston area. Wait, hold on, let me see. Where's my notes on that? Because I saw that earlier. That's to the fishing industry. That's the fishing industry. So I think that is definitely needed, because that's going to definitely create jobs. And most fishermen are like small business. Unlike the farmers and where you have big agribusiness, the fishing industry is still kind of small business. So that money for the small.
Let's listen to the entirety, because he's not attacking the fishing industry. He's attacking how the money is being used to get to them, which means that money is not going to them. It's like a facade, okay? So you're saying one thing, but it's really not going to them. You're saying, okay, we're going to go to the Kennedy Center, but what we're doing really is giving it to the Kennedy board members, who's going to claim that they're going to spend it on the Kennedy Center, which they're not. They're going to line their pockets, because after it leaves the feds, it goes to the Kennedy Center. It's going to be up to the Kennedy Center to determine how that money is dispersed. If it's going to be dispersed and it's going to go towards nonprofits and help the people, of course. No, that's not the case. In most of these cases, once it gets to the top, it stays there. It gets dispersed among board members and leaders and whoever controls the pocketbooks of the donors. And the donors don't care because it's not their pocket, but it is indirectly because it's through tax dollars. So understand what he is trying to expose is that upper crust level layers of corporations, nonprofits, for profits are keeping and pocketing this money. And they have this facade of an illusion of whatever the name of their company is, their organization. So you think it's going towards the trickle-down factor. Democrats don't believe in a trickle-down factor. They don't believe in, okay, let's boost the economy and get the federal government to start helping the middleman so they can take care of themselves. No, they believe in the fact that they're just going to tax everyone, and then from that, they're going to go from the ground up. It doesn't work like that. Government is much different than that, and is a big corporate America is what we are in this country today. It's not ran like during the Carter administration or the Nixon administration. This administration is exposing the failures of Lyndon B. Johnson, the failures of Carter, the failures of Ronald Reagan by allowing illegal immigrants into this country and leaving that border open, the failure of Nixon and his collusion with Ronald Reagan when they started attacking blacks like the Black Panthers and all that. People need to read and understand history before you start throwing stones and the facade that is put out there. So President Trump, when he's speaking, listen, he is speaking about that upper crust, the upper layer of people who have access to power and money, because once it leaves the federal government, is given to these industries, the industry can do whatever they want on how that money is distributed and dispersed. The government didn't have any stipulations or regulations of how that money is spent. It's just saying, we're going to give it to that institute. We're going to give it to that nonprofit. In the meantime, the American people said, but what about me? Well, hold on. We have to take care of them first. Them? This is not America. This is not legislators who are caring about America. These are people who are treasonous. You have waited till the end of the year where people are hurting and crying and homeless and cold on the street. You have waited till 4 days before Christmas. You have waited where people are praying on their knees and bleeding in the ground. And this is what you do? This is what you do? You're trying to cast a coal and a curse upon this country. Well, woe be unto you, those who are listening and who have agreed with the line themselves with the devil. Because those devilish elected officials, I wish that whatever you did not want to bless American people, that it comes back on you 100-fold. I do, in a negative way, because you cannot do wrong by people and think God's going to bless you. We say God bless America. How can God bless America when America can't handle its own leadership? You have to pluck and prune negative energy and people out of this country and expose them. But if you have Americans who are at loss and are at bay and are in denial, many of you Americans are in denial that we have become such a corrupt, treasonous, aiding and abetting to other countries, when he is clearly showing you this betting and aiding and assisting everybody else, and you don't get crap. And you want to ask me why I voted for Donald Trump. Why have I supported the Trump? Why was I the first? I am the first African-American descendants of slaves who spoke on a national platform for this man. And I believe with my family for this man and prayed with this man. And you're going to tell me we want to have a Biden and you voted for Biden in this corrupt world that we live in? Come on now. Let me keep this going.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack.
Did you hear what he said? He said reef fish management. See, the management team manages that money. You hear what I said, Dimitri? Are you out there?
Right. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
The management, notice how he see the management. See, the upper crust of these industries get this money and then they're supposed to disperse it. They never do. And people never know how much it is. He's giving you dollar, blow, dollar, location, who it is, what they are. These are blows. Boom, boom, chess move, rook, knight, bishop. And then he takes the queen and moves her around. And as the king, he just sits there. This man's playing 3D chess. Let's keep going.
Fish in the Gulf of Mexico. A provision to promote the breeding of fish in federal hatcheries. $3 million in poultry production technology. $2 million to research the impact of down trees. $566 million for construction projects at the FBI. The bill also allows stimulus checks for the family members of illegal aliens, allowing them to get up to $1,800 each. This is far more than the Americans are given. Despite all of this wasteful spending and much more, the $900 billion package provides hardworking taxpayers with only $600 each in relief payments. And not enough money is given to small businesses, and in particular restaurants, whose owners have suffered so grievously. They were only given a deduction for others to use in business their restaurant for 2 years. This 2-year period must be withdrawn, which will allow the owners to obtain financing and get their restaurants back in condition.
Now, hold on. I want you to inhale this moment. I want you to exhale this moment. Because if you're a business owner, I'm going to talk to white America. Because after this video, I'm going to show you how white America and California is suffering during a time they shouldn't be. But you abandoned your cousins. Because when Ronald Reagan in the 80s let them immigrants in here, and those Koreans start buying up our liquor stores and buying up our cleaners. That's right. Them Chinese people, don't you know that black people own cleaners? My aunt owned cleaners in Oakland, California in the 60s and the 50s. That's why George Jefferson he owned many cleaners, because that's what black people did. We cleaned, we constructed, we put things together. But you allow the Chinese to come in, and you allow the Koreans to come in. And you allowed them to come into our communities, and they were able to go back and forth and get money. I did a whole video where I showed you what China had burnt down, Chinatown burnt down in San Francisco. This man went back to China, got money, and came back and rebuilt it in America. See, when you are a descendant of slave, I can't go back to Africa and get no money to rebuild my community. I'm relying on the federal government, small business loans. I'm relying on the infrastructure of America to care for my people as a descendant of slave, foundational black person. But because you mismanaged my people, you mismanaged black Americans. No. Don't tell me you guys got chance and you guys need to get out there and hustle and pull your pants up. That's a bunch of BS. Because what you have had in America is a dismantleness of communication and understanding of history and law when it comes to blacks in this country. And if many of you would stop in your COVID moment and your mirrorized moment and start understanding black Americans, descendants of slaves, of the emancipation of the 1800s and the 1600s and the 1700s and the Revolutionary War and the Civil War, and you focus on blacks and whites, you would have a better understanding of our historical and biological and genealogy connection. But instead, you'd rather dismantle me and then put me in the minority category. And this is why I'm different with President Trump, which I never hardly do, but I am. He continues to talk about Black, Asians, and Latinos and Mexicans. And someone told him to start saying this line, right? I am not Asian, I'm not Mexican, and I'm not Latino. I am not an immigrant or an illegal immigrant. I am a commoditized good trades and servants. I am a descendant of slaves. My surname is a white slave master, because when they freed the slaves, we had no last name. So for white people to know what property you used to be part of, you say your last name was Jackson, Webster, Smith, Jones. Oh, that was Slave Master Jackson. His name is Paul Jackson. Oh, you want to, well, Paul Jackson's niggas. Okay, Negro, you free now, but you want his now. That's your last name. So the slave said, oh, I guess I'm a Jackson. So he took that surname on. So when people say, how do you guys know that you're a descendant of slave? That's so long ago. We don't really need to go back in time. No, you need to, because even under this administration, they have helped the Native Americans, they have helped the Chinese. I have told you of numerous accounts where we talk about executive orders for the Chinese, executive orders granted for the Latin communities and business and opportunities. But when it comes to African American descendants of slaves, there never was an executive order. Now, I want to clarify some things. I'm not putting all this on him. We've had horrible fumbles. Omarosa, it was a hot mess. Blacks.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Blacks for Trump, hot mess. Blacks for Trump, if you're listening, I want to let you know all y'all caused this election to lose. Not just only the fact that it was rigged, but you had too many Black people who should have been awoken through the duration of the 4 years instead of this bum rush at the end talking about let's get Black people to vote for Trump. Why should I vote for Trump? You have not clarified that fully when it comes to money in my pocket. Not the fact that, oh, look, you've got the income out. The opportunity zone was a tax break, a very complex tax break for white Americans to invade upon urban communities of poor, impoverished people.
Gentrification.
That's all that was. I don't care what you say. I'm a real estate developer. I read it. I studied it. I'm involved in it. I'm telling you what it is. It has nothing to do with helping Black people buy more property when we don't even have the money to leverage into the system. Okay.
But hold on, but Shirley, the bigger thing with Blacks for Trump, you got to understand them and Turning Point USA, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They brought identity politics to the conservative movement, when the conservative movement before them was about money and economics and empowerment of our country. They were to cause distraction, and that's exactly what they did. And then we got the eye off the ball, because then you had these Black folks in these damn cities stuffing I mean, you heard the rumors, what they did, allegedly stuffing ballots, signing people up and doing their stuff for the signatures are all off, because they did it all. It was all fake. The whole thing is fake. And now what happened is that now if Black folks decide not to register to vote, they don't need to anymore, because they have enough people to do fake ballot, like robo signing, like they did with those mortgages, and then vote for Black folks. That's what people don't understand what the whole thing was about. And it's disgusting. Now, and the thing is, $566 billion for the FBI. Are you serious? It's disgusting. And the thing is,
sorry about that. It's my phone. Go ahead. Go ahead.
$566 billion for the FBI. Let that sink in. $566 billion. We already talked about previously how $40 billion can change the game. $566 billion is the GDP of first world countries. And they're going to spend that just on the FBI. What they going to do with that money in the middle of a pandemic? Think about that. What are you going to do right now?
And on top of people already losing their mind.
Exactly.
Black, white, or whatever. You losing your mind. Because no one thought this thing would go on this long. And then they're like, oh, if I can just get through 2020, I want to say, bitch, this ain't over.
This ain't over.
You might go into 2024 with this. So that they can play COVID game, and then they say one thing, and then the other, they put bills on the table, sign them, and monies don't even get to us. Now you explain that madness to me.
Exactly. They got money for $224 billion for Pakistan gender studies. They got $50 billion for Latin America. They got $1.3 billion for Egypt. But they're pushing COVID on us, and we get no money, but they get money? Come on now. This is a scam. It is a scam.
Let's keep going.
Congress can terminate it at a much later date, but 2 years is not acceptable. It's not enough. Congress found plenty of money for foreign countries, lobbyists, and special interests, while sending the bare minimum to the American people who need it. It wasn't their fault. It was China's fault, not their fault. I am asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple. I'm also asking Congress to immediately get rid of the wasteful and unnecessary items from this legislation and to send me a suitable bill, or else the next administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package, and maybe that administration will be me, and we will get it done. Thank you very much.
Ooh, wait, what? Wait, I didn't hear that last part.
Yes, he did. He said, it could be me.
Wait, what? Wait, what does that even mean?
The administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package, and maybe that administration will be me, and we will get it done. Thank you very much.
What?
And the game continues.
Oh, let me tell you something. Can we do a sidebar real quick? Real quick. If he does not leave the White House, let me tell you something. I am down for that. I am all for the fire and brimstone. He should not leave the White House. He should stay as president. And whatever he got to do is whatever he got to do. I'm for it 100%. That's what I'm saying.
Trump is a G-la-la, okay?
Yes. I want him to go out like what's that? Like Scarface. I want him to just go out like fighting. Period. Because what happened to him is exactly what happens to black men every single solitary day. But the thing is that it happened to him and it was unfair. He won that election clearly. You ain't gonna tell me that you're gonna tell me that black folks voted more for Biden than Obama? Come on now, please.
Come on.
Please. So now, I do believe his votes are real. I know for a fact that Biden's is not, because they have folks doing stuff in ballots, they have ballot rooms and all that kind of stuff, registering people who didn't even want to register to vote, and that's why the signatures were all off. Period. And that's why they was bringing in all those little bags in, because those coming from those little, like I would say trap houses, but I say vote houses, where they was just doing all this stuff. So that's all I'm saying.
That's true. Hey, you guys, don't forget to like and share this video. Please share it in groups. I need you to share this in different groups and put on there, please watch this video. This is going to give you an update of where we know where the president is. So where are we at? Apparently January 6th, we're going to get the new Congress in office. So all the congressional people, the new leaders, the new Senate, and the new House will be in office, and they will have the final votes for the certification of this presidency. This could be a turning point, because they don't have to deliver their state in alliance with the vote of the people. They could just all get one vote and vote one at a time for President Trump. There are a lot of opportunities for Trump to still take this presidency. One that I'm constantly pushing on the table is martial law, where he can demand the military to go in there and recount those votes. Or he can also get in there and sit down and discuss with this new Congress under certain laws and rights under the Constitution that were not allocated in the best interest of the people. There's a lot of things that these attorneys around the clock are working on. Some of them are working for free. So as I hear more and more, I'll let you know, but I'm letting you know January 6th is an important date, 2021, because that is the next tip and turning point. But I find this interesting that they had waited so long to release this alleged COVID stimulus bill that has nothing to do with COVID and nothing to do with a bill that is going to propel the American people into a stability lifestyle right now, because many people are unstable mentally, physically, and financially. And many people are white Americans who have never been like this. And let me talk to my white Americans. I'm going to pivot, and I want to talk about white American businesses and why you're suffering. Because you're suffering in California because you did not pay attention to your cousin, Black Americans. Mm-hmm. In the 80s and the 90s, when we were losing everything, and you allowed these immigrants and illegals to come over, and legislators from Republicans to Democrats to create stimulus opportunities like EB-5 visas, letting them bring their families in, like executive orders and monies allocated. And treasonous Black Americans, even I'm going to go back to Tom Bradley in Los Angeles, who worked with the Asian community and took over the Wilshire district and started this situation where we have districts named after different cultures of people: Koreatown, Chinatown. We have El Salvadorian districts. This is un-American, and this should be unaccepted. And then when you go in these districts in California, you can see many of you guys across the country, I'm talking to white people across the country, don't realize how polluted and perverted the state of California has become, because you see people just leaving. You don't know how it evolved to this level. So it had a combination of crooked Democrats, crooked Black people. I'm going to throw Black people on the bus with this. Politicians who slowly eroded the state and ripped it from its true foundation, to constitutional state laws that were altered, to California state seals that removed the cross and started removing God that was broken, to Christians who have aligned themselves with Eric Garcetti and Gavin Newsom, Christians who supported abortions, Christians who allowed the LGBT, A, B, C, D, E, F people to make Black people the poster child. See, go back to Lyndon B. Johnson, who came in there and ripped the Black family apart and empowered the Black woman and told the Black woman, you don't need no Black man. So that when he came back home, he couldn't even go back to his house because the federal government had got her hooked on the system. And she said, Negro, I got a check. I don't need you. A divisive, destructive way that you've allowed our Black men to can't run business with their women anymore. Because now women, I am woman, hear me roar. I'm trying to be the I am woman. In the meantime, I'm by myself. I'm unprotected. And while he's in jail, illegals are coming into my community, raping and pillaging my community. Older Black women kicked out. Younger Black women marrying into the illegal immigrant families. And then they
hold on. Not only, marrying in and then also being disrespected, kicked to the curb and left with nothing. Period.
Come on. Now I'm giving you some news.
And honestly, listen. And I don't know if you've been watching the whole thing that's been going on with Kevin Samuels. Let me tell you something. I don't feel sorry at all for what has happened because I never. This doesn't happen. This only happens in our community. This only happens in our community, and it just seems as though that we're just trying our best to just take ourselves out at this point. And I'm sorry, Shirley. Let me stop because I don't want to go there. I don't want to take it all the way there. I'm sorry.
As you continue to talk about the pillaging of communities, especially the Black, I'm talking about descendants of slaves. I ain't talking about Africans. I'm not talking about people from Trinidad and the Caribbean islands. And I'm not talking about white Americans and certain Blacks, not all, that want to talk about we all Black, including people from India who are raised under the caste system, CASTE system, which is a whole nother video, who believe that as a certain placement of the poor will always be poor. If you're born poor and if you think you're going to work up to a higher level, you can't because you were born as a poor person. So they come here trying to enforce their ideology and their implants of democracy, and you don't see all that coming. This is why this country's a mess. This country was founded on Christian Judeo values. You've allowed Muslims, you've allowed people who are Buddhists, and other religions and said, we need to be fair. The founding fathers didn't care about fairness. That's why we went to war. This is why we left Great Britain. This is why we established the Constitution, which was derived from the Bible. Hello. Do your damn homework and understand how this country is ran. So let's talk about white America. When we talk about businesses today, now you guys are enduring, what we've always said. You're enduring this. Meaning that you are now being put on the chopping block because you done chopped everything else up. You done took our communities. You done took the family apart. You done sat back and not provided us any stimulus checks or SBAs or executive orders or some kind of visas or something to stimulate the Black community. And then say, well, you're just the same. We're all the same. No, that's a lie. That is not how government is ran. Government is dispersing money to cultures of people. And here you have a president who just exposed a financial upper crust echelons of people who are getting money. And then I have been exposing how the Latinos, the Asians have coincided, and the Mexicans, the El Salvadorans, the Guadalajarans, all these people, including the illegals, are getting money. But when I talk about the descendants of slaves, people who are your cousins, white America, for some reason, you are afraid. Let me show you a video. I want to show you this video, and I want you to make it clear. But before I show you a video, I want you to understand why this woman lost her business, because there's not a clarity of why these people who are white in America losing their business. Number one, you did not vote for a business president. You didn't vote for a business president. You voted for the other guy because all you cared about was, I don't care if I don't vote for Trump. I'm just not voting for Trump. I'm going to vote for the other guy. Well, now you're dealing with the aftermath of the other guy. He's going to continue on having you be poor. He's going to continue on having your business be destructive and divisive. And as you can see, this piece of legislation, which is a piece of trash, which the president is going to veto, was created under the Nancy Pelosi Biden future wannabe administration. So I want to show you why white people are losing their mind and who's going to take over their business, because we already know the black people got the 411. We know who white people are going to lose their business to.
Yep, so do.
And I'm going to break it down so that you hear this. Please share and like this video. Share it in groups. Share it in emails. Share it in every aspect. And I'm going to break it down. As a matter of fact, share it with your friends. Stop the video and talk about each portion I'm talking about and verify what I'm saying. And if you don't think what I'm saying is real, I challenge you to challenge me, bitch. Because I want to know what the real deal is that you don't think what I'm saying is not real, because it is. Let me show you this video. I want you to see, first of all, you need to have an understanding about realism in America.
But Shirley, before you even start that video, remember T. West talked about this in like a 3-part series about what happened, and especially specifically in LA, but just globally what happened to us and what's going to happen in the future. He did this like, I think it was like 2-3 years ago. So yeah,
we've been telling about here. Listen to Afro Synergy News. T. West is my brother. I love him. Make sure you watch Phil Scott from the Advice Afro Synergy News, and you also watch Phil Scott show. These people are on it. Our people are on it. We've been on it. Yeah, shout out to Vicky Diller. Oh God, she's been deep lately. Again, realism, people. We're telling you the people to watch, but let's stay focused here. Look, who won California? Look how much he won California by, right? Okay, 63%, 0.5, allegedly. I know we've got the voter fraud and everything, but let's just work with what they say. And then President Trump got 34.3. Now, you had over 11 million people in the state of California. The non-business president businesses voted for this man. This man is anti-business, anti-American. He's a treasonous candidate. He says the most racist and just just crazy things. He says crazy things, and you guys voted for him. And then you want to know why your businesses are hurting. Let's watch this video. Everyone has seen this video. I'm gonna play it for those who may not know. This is a business owner in California, and this woman woke up to find out she was not COVID compliant. And this is what happened. She was trying to be, but they told her no.
So this is my place, the Pineapple Hill Grill and Saloon. If you go to my page, you can see all the work I did for outdoor dining, for tables being 7 feet apart. And I come in today because I'm organizing a protest, and I came in to get stuff for that. And I walk into my parking lot, and obviously Mayor Garcetti has approved this. Has approved this being set up for a movie company. I'm losing everything. Everything I own is being taken away from me. And they set up a movie company right next to my outdoor patio, which is right over here. And people wonder why I'm protesting and why I have had enough. They have not given us money and they have shut us down. We cannot survive. My staff cannot survive. Look at this.
Whatever.
That this is dangerous, but right next to me as a slap in my face, that's safe. This is safe. 50 50 feet away. This is dangerous. Mayor Garcetti and Gavin Newsom is responsible for every single person that doesn't have unemployment, that does not have a job, and all the businesses that are going under. And we need your help.
Oh, gosh. Oh, I can't. Oh, please save the fucking drama. I can't with her.
Hold on.
I don't care. I don't care. You know why I don't care?
Why do you not care?
Because the fact you all voted for this. Stop your Becky tears. I don't give a damn. Sit your behind down. This is what y'all voted for. We've been telling y'all behind this has been happening to us, and this has been happening to us for over a century, after 1865, all the way up until even now. And everyone's been sitting there. We've been telling y'all we follow the rules, follow the law, do everything right. You've been saying, oh, you guys are complaining too much. I don't give a damn. Lose it all. Be on Skid Row. I do not care. Oh, well, that's how it is. And we've been telling y'all this and telling y'all this. Oh, you guys are always talking about racism. Now it's going to y'all now. Guess what? Guess what? Her name is Shamika. Welcome to the party. I don't feel anything for you. Nothing. Keep crying.
Shout out to the Facebook family that's up watching me this late. Shout out to also all the people on YouTube. I appreciate it. Make sure you share and like this video. I want everyone to understand we're giving you a breakdown of what's happening. Now, you know, we're not trying to be mean. The flagship has a little bit more kahunas in this at nighttime. Well, he should, because he's a guy, than me. But I'm going to be honest with you. If you are white or black and you voted for Joe Biden and you have a business, this is what you deserve, because you don't understand how local, state, and federal, the feds have been trying to help you. The one who understands business. The state is gobbling up your money. Now, there was another video, but I can't find it. I'm just going to tell you the scenario. This gentleman said that he made his business COVID compliant. It's out there. He spent $500,000 becoming COVID compliant. And when the stimulus money was given to business owners, it was given in a form of a loan. It was not given in a form of, here's $500,000 to $2 million to whatever. They gave it to them at a 2 to 3% interest rate loan. The feds. Once they took that money, they said, oh, well, let me go fix my business COVID compliant. Who got that money? They gave it to the state, because the state stipulated new laws and regulations and permits and rights. So they start paying. Okay, I'll pay the state. I can get that money back. How much is this? How much is that? How much is this? How much is that? So they gave the money to Eric Garcetti. They gave it to Gavin Newsom. They met with the city and the district leaders and the business owners, or whoever they had to help in California, which is majority, like 99.9% Democrats. And that money went to those people's pocketbooks. In the meantime, business owner Bob or Tina or Becky or Karen, they're still crying. Do you know why Karen and Becky and Bob are still crying? Because all that money they're on the hook for. It's a loan, and it was allocated to grow their business or keep it afloat. And now they've been told in the wintertime, which anybody with common sense would have known. I told all my friends, don't do this. If you get this money, you need to hold and see which way you're going.
Exactly.
Out on the street. Common sense would have told you, don't try to comply to these people, because you in a liberal freaking state. You're in a state that don't give a rat's ass about people.
But see, this is how let me tell you how they rationalized it. Because see, these are the liberals. See, the thing is, the white people that listen to your show, they're non-racist. See, this is what the whites need to understand, the conservative whites, that every white liberal is racist, period. So their mindset is, I'm white, I'm Becky, I'm Karen. That's not for me. That regulation, that's for the Negroes over there. See, conservative whites, you need to understand, a white liberal, your cousins who are liberals, they are the most racist people on God's green earth. Jared Taylor and Richard Spencer cannot even compete with these racist liberals, period. If you don't understand it, we got to talk about a different shit. So these people, that woman believed, I'm white. That regulation is going to be for the Negroes. I see them getting beat up on TV, which we do. In New York, when they try to be compliant, they getting beat up, thrown in jail, where white folks was not. You know what I'm saying? We have those videos. And so they're like, I'm going to be fine. So now they don't understand. The game has changed now. It's not about now these racist liberals who got passes because they white. They're not about to be treated like Tyrell and Keisha. And she's crying, not because she's losing her business. She's crying because she's now being treated like Keisha and Tyrell, which is exactly what we've been talking about for decades. Guess what? Keep crying. I feel nothing. I hate these people. I despise the ground they walk on. I want them to be bankrupt. I want them to fall down in the worst of the worst, because I saw people who I love work their butts off, get no relief, and then get picked on and messed with. Then you have Black women who open up their beauty shops. Their husband got killed. Open up their damn beauty shop, getting money from the churches and stuff, and everyone's supporting them. And then you have these damn racist liberals coming in and regulate the you don't have this wire. It needs to go two inches to the left. This needs to be fixed. This needs to be fixed. And then you're freaking fined out to the bottom, and then you got to sell your business to somebody else. Then you get regulated, get raided for lies, get swatted for lies because they see you doing well. They just come and burn your business down. I feel nothing for her. Keep crying.
Do you understand what we're trying to say to you guys? And especially if you're white, do you understand that we have tried to wake you up to the fact that your Black cousin, who you've allowed to be homeless on the street, who you didn't hire, you hired little Juan and his 5 cousins, and you paid them partly cash and you paid them partly a check so you can evade from paying taxes. See, Gavin Newsom knows that. Everett Garcetti, they know that. They know you have this business and you've been able to make money, and they're not being able to tax you more and more and more. And they've been waiting for an opportunity to cut you, hurt you, and dismantle you. People are dismantled in businesses. Did you hear what the president said? He said that the money for businesses were just more of a tax break. So that means the money that was not given to businesses was a loan. And that means that money that you mismanaged during COVID 2020, you got to still pay back. And that if you lose your business, you are still on the hook with the Fed. But in actual fact, the state will do fine because you paid them all the money to retrofit your business, which you're losing anyway.
Let me tell you what they should have done. They should have put that money in a bank, in an interest-bearing bank account. Let it sit there and just chill. Because some people got millions of dollars. I think she got like I think that lady got like $500,000 or something like that. Someone got like $500,000. So if you put that in the interest-bearing account, you're gonna get you'll get some money back. If you put like $1 million in like an interest-bearing account, you'll get some money. So it's gonna start accumulating. Because the thing is, you cannot rationalize with these liberals. The rules always change. And also, you got to understand that they are submissive to their campaign contributors, who are big business, especially in Hollywood. And so, of course, Hollywood's going to have a restaurant next to yours. They're Hollywood. Do you not know? I mean, did she not know that? Oh, yeah, she didn't know that because she's white. She's a privilege. She's the Becky. So, of course, she did not understand it. But now she understands that now. You got to be in.
California kind of set their own compliance rules of, well, this is COVID compliant and this is not.
Exactly.
How is that? Exactly. And this is not? How is Hollywood exempt? And I'm exempt, but they're not, and they are, and I am. Oh, this ain't nothing but some political bullshit.
But remember, Shirley, that's what we've been complaining about, because that's exactly what we've been going through for decades. And now you guys see it's about to be y'all too. Y'all about to be down here with us. See, we were the experiment cases. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Hold on. Get some water.
We were the experiment cases. Listen to what
we were the experiment group on how to get it done. And now it's been 50 years for them to perfect the public opinion, the media, get the police in line on how they do things. Y'all about to be with us, conservatives. Sorry. I mean, some of y'all might get a set aside. And remember, this has happened, and this has happened before in history. Look up the Bacon's Rebellion.
Well, talk about it. Talk about it.
The same thing happened in America, the Bacon's Rebellion, where these rich elite liberals were like, oh my god, we got to get these people submissive to us. So what they did was, what happened with white folks, they took the bait because they said, okay, we're going to make black slaves. That's how slavery happened after the Bacon's Rebellion, because it was based on class at first. They said, okay, well, this is what they went to the white community and said, okay, we'll make black people slaves and you can own them and they'll work for you. And that was the deal. Well, you can't do that no more. You can't do that no more. And it looks like you can't, there's going to be no more set-asides. It's like, it's going to be a situation where the elites, if you're in the in crowd, you're in, and then everyone else going to be treated like black folk.
Okay, so now remember, I told you, and we're moving to the point of this conversation, which is what's going to happen to white people. But I have to show you another lady who's a restaurant owner. And now we're going to tie this into the loyalty of your fellow man and who's really loyal and who's really not. Let's watch this video. I want you to see this video of this woman who's also losing her business, another white woman who's lost her business or losing her mind. Let's listen to her. I'm going to fast forward straight through it. She's another California small business owner. This was on the
feminist. But I'm a feminist. I'm a feminist, aren't I? Okay, I'm a Gloria Steinem. I burn bras.
Blackship, be quiet. I want to let them hear this woman.
Okay, sorry.
All right, now you're going to be good. Oh, listen.
It's tough on everybody. This will be my second to last question. I think it was important. Christian Nunez mentioned this at Don Sal's, and I thought it was important too because I'm not in the restaurant, but it makes you think. He says no one thinks about like the impact on the waiters, like just on tips. So now on takeout only, I mean, they basically wiped out their tips. You want to speak about what your servers have to go through now? Now takeout only, no tips.
Absolutely. I mean, it's disheartening for us, but it's also disheartening for them. What other do they have a backup? I don't know if they have a backup. When it comes down to, what is it, to me, when this first started, if the government's going to shut us down, then they have to be there for us in a sense. And that goes with all of our suppliers. You have to have art. I have an SBA program or SBA on my building and my property, and I needed them to be there for us. If somebody ties your hands and throws you in the ocean to swim, how are we gonna swim? Not just us, but also you have to feel for them. But I felt like even yesterday, I had one server come in, and because I didn't have a busser, I felt like he gave me an attitude the whole entire night. Like, I want to have employees. Okay, wait. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm glad that we're talking about things. It's really important.
Oh God.
I have 30-something employees. I only had like maybe 2 employees that reach out to us. Out of all the employees, after all the years that we've been there for them, to me it was all about the money for them. All about the money. They didn't give a shit. So I felt like I got a resentment back when I was only able to handpick a few employees to come back to work, and that was sad. That was really, really sad, And I could tell yesterday, this one guy, I said, I just want 2 guys in the front. Because you can't have more, if I have more employees, and listen, when I had a full floor, if you look at the labor costs compared to what you're bringing in, you have to keep the labor down too, but you also have to do your job, right? So, when we first started doing the to-goes, I just wanted one guy up in the front, handling the phones, taking the to-go orders. When I saw that we got a little bit busier, I added another person on there. Of course I'm going to do that. I mean, I'm there answering the phones. I'm cooking and answering the phones and taking orders at the same time to be able to make it. There's no way that you can make it having the percentages drop, and then on top of it, having to pay all your bills. It doesn't work out that way.
I want to ask you this. This will be the last question. Let's say
I can't be on camera.
No. This is you speaking from the heart. But let's say I'm Governor Gavin Newsom, right? Sitting across the table. What could they do from a governor's standpoint for you guys here as restaurant owners? Do you think under the PPP loan would it be even higher? Like,
absolutely. You know what?
Would you say
I'm going to tell you something. You know what? I applied for the PPP loan. And you know what? If it wasn't put in place, we would have been done. We would have been done. And not only did I take PP loan, but then I also did the other personal loan at the 3%. So that's what's giving me this between us now. That's what's just keeping me in the cushion, knowing that if God forbid something happens, I could be able to pay some bills from that. But I'm trying not to use all of that. I'm trying not to use, I'm trying to sustain my business. Have I put money into my restaurant? Absolutely. As far as Gavin Newsom goes, I don't believe that he should have I don't think he should have the authority to be able to put that constraint on the restaurants. If the restaurants adhere to the COVID regulations the protocol that was put upon us from the beginning, where we took out a certain percentage of tables and we separated people out, our restaurant has not done. And this is one thing that I mentioned right away when this first happened. That is that I wanted to assure the public that our restaurant, everybody needs to always be clean. That's a given. But me as a respectable business owner, but also as a responsible business owner, I always make sure that we follow protocol to clean, to sanitize, to make sure that you have a good, clean, safe environment. And so we have our health inspections for 21 years. I've always carried an A. in our business, because I want my.
Okay, so I want to stop for a second.
Yes. Oh, okay. I'm glad you. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I was going to say something.
And I'm going to let you talk. I should have stopped it earlier. I was just fascinated because part of this video I have not watched. I'm watching at the same time you guys are. She said a lot, right? There's a lot going on. I want to go back to the part where she starts crying about how her employees. She was mad. She was shocked. She wasn't mad. She was shocked how they were not loyal. Now I'm going to tell you how California ran. California's ran with white people owning them and Mexicans managing, cooking, working, and running their business.
Yes.
And a lot of people are illegals. They're mostly illegals or immigrants. Okay. And so when she said, all they cared about was a check. I thought we were all family. No, people. This is why I wanted to laugh at her. I said, oh, honey. Oh, Becky. Oh, Karen. You thought.
Wait, but hold on. But it goes deeper than that. Remember, that's exactly the same mentality that they thought about slaves when we left the plantation. I thought we were family. Oh, did I say that? Yes, I did.
I disagree with you. I'm not going to compare illegal to slavery. I'm not.
No, I'm not comparing. I'm talking about the mentality of their mindset. Their mindset is like, I did this for you. I allowed you to be here. I allowed you to do all these different things.
Okay, you're talking about Becky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not trying to attack this woman or make her seem as a villain. We're trying to help you understand the shock system. Like if you're white and you're in a state of shock and you don't know why, me and Flagship are trying to help white people understand that you aligned yourself with people who didn't care about you or your business. You aligned yourself with people who have another hidden agenda. Because all throughout California, the Latin community who are illegal immigrants, not all, not trying to throw all my Latin family under the bus. I'm talking about those who are not true Americans, who are not those who have not made a decision to assimilate or associate themselves as true-blooded Americans. These are people who come here and do remittance. That means they make money and they send it back to El Salvador. They make money, they send it back to Puerto Rico. They make money, they send it back to China. They make money, they send it back to Mexico. Okay? Guadalajara. That's what these people do. And they build their country up and they don't pay taxes. They get paid under the table. She's taught these people how to run her business. She's taught these people how to cook her food. She's taught these people how to manage a store. She taught them all this. This is why she's having a breakdown of, I can't bring you back. I want to bring you back, but I just can't. You didn't even call to see how I'm doing. No. Why should I care for you, Becky?
Thank you.
Because they never did ever care. Because you were not loyal. You didn't hire any black people, probably. You didn't probably hire that many white people. Because every time we kept going in the restaurants, I kept saying, what is this? Y'all don't even hire white people in California. So all these people they've hired are Hispanic, are illegals, are immigrants, and now they're wondering why these people aren't loyal. They never were loyal to you, boo-boo.
Thank you.
Money.
Thank you. Thank you. And unlike them, we have been loyal. There's been a lot of black folks that stuck with people after they stuck with their business owners and stuff like that, after they lost everything to try to help them out. We have always, look at how black people loyal to the Democratic Party. Democratic Party has done nothing for black folk, and they still loyal. Remember, we built this country that y'all now own. There's nothing more loyalty than that. And we ain't tore it up yet? Come on now. And and if anyone should tear this country up, it should be us. Let's keep it a buck. And we ain't done nothing yet. We need to be off. Let me tell you something. I'm not pulling any punches out. If anyone doesn't like what I have to say, it's time that we tell these non-racist white people the realness. It's time for you to understand the truth. And if you don't like it, oh well, this is real. We have been dealing with this from your liberal brethren, and we are tired of it. We're not taking it anymore. And y'all need to wake up and not take it either.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the more that
because y'all are next.
Oh, they're not next. They are. See, next means like, oh, it's about to happen. No, it's happening now. It's happening now. You just saw it with the Pineapple Hills restaurant, saloon, excuse me. You see this lady, she seems to be Italian, It's her restaurant. And she's like, Gavin Newsom, Eric Garcetti, you're Democrats. You're supposed to help us. You're supposed to align with us. But wait a minute, you're anti-business people for your best interest. You voted for the anti-business candidate for presidency. You aligned yourself with Camilla wannabe Black Harris, who's also anti-business, who grew up under the caste system. And you expected your business to grow? You expected them to not want that federal money? They knew you were getting that federal money. They were warming up the car. They had their hands. Oh boy, we're about to get a good chunk of this stimulus money from these losers. Because not only are we going to take their money, did you hear what she said? She put her personal loan up, and she got a personal loan, and she got the SBA money, thinking she going to save her business.
Yep. But here's the kicker. Let's bring it full circle right now.
Okay.
Keep in mind, she got loans, right? Now, mind you, for gender studies in Pakistan, that's a $24 billion grant. You ain't got to pay that money back. $1.3 billion in Egypt, that's a grant. $566 billion with the B to the FBI. That ain't no damn loan. Remember, you have $40 million to the Kennedy Center, $5.5 million to all those different countries, and then you got $154 million to the Endowment of the Arts, and you got $7 million for some kind of poultry situation. That's not loan. See, she did all that loan stuff. These folks got grants.
Now, are you guys absorbing what we're trying to tell you? This is what the President Trump just said in the video less than 7 hours ago that we played earlier for those who just chimed in. Thank you so much for watching. Please share and like this video. Please share it in groups. Keep talking in the chat room with each other, because the more you get to know people in the chat room, you might want to befriend some of these people because you have the same kindred spirits. You have the same ideology if you're watching this show, and you're not easily offended because we're talking about white America and we're talking about President Trump, the do's and the don'ts that are about to embark upon you. So thank you so much for watching. But you're absolutely right, Flagship. We're talking about grants. A grant, for those who may not know, you do not have to pay back. Everything President Trump talked about was you don't have to pay back money. Now let that absorb into your system. Billions of dollars that don't go to the American people. You get 600. Illegal immigrants get 1,800. They do not have to pay back. You get $600. How many families of tacos can you feed with that? Not too many. Okay.
And the thing is that what ticks me off the most is the intent, because they know they're not going to help nobody. They know they're going to create criminals out of this, because when you it's a really boring read, but if you read it's like the book on policing, it talks about the psychology of a criminal, and it's pretty much the foundation of how they write police procedure. And so they say you create criminals in society by making sure they don't have any. If they don't have any money, they're poor, they're downtrodden, all these different things. You can create a criminal. So if you're gonna put $566 billion into the FBI, why not put $566 billion into small business and grants?
No. Look, they don't have to do that. They can get a little Becky. We just saw Karen right now. Karen, business owner, says she took out a personal loan and took the PP money of 2% and 3%. They got you in debt. They're getting the American people in debt to deal with a pandemic, but yet the elitists and the upper entourage get billion-dollar grants.
Yes. Yeah. Ooh, yes.
Explain that to me.
Yes. So what that's creating is debt slavery, because that same thing, because they're getting money. You are getting debt.
Let's see if we can find that video part one more time so y'all can hear this woman.
No, that's what's just keeping me in the cushion, knowing that if God forbid something happens.
I want to ask you this. This will be the last question. Let's say I can't be on camera. No. It's this is you being you speaking from the heart. But let's say I'm Governor Gavin Newsom. Right?
I don't care about. Can we do a pause real quick? I'm done with her crying. Miss me with your damn tears. I'm tired of hearing her tears.
Absolutely.
Listen.
I'm gonna tell you something. You know what? I applied for the PPP loan. And you know what? If it wasn't put in place, we would have been done. We would have been done. And not only did I do the PP loan, but then I also did the other personal loan at the 3%.
So she did the PP loan. She said loan, LOAN. She said loan, And then I took a personal loan. LOA. So what did you say that was, Flagship?
Debt.
Debt. You said slavery debt.
Slavery debt, yes. Meanwhile, the Kennedy Center got grants. They didn't get a $40 million loan and PPP loan, and then the board members didn't have to do a personal loan and load mortgage their houses, their penthouse in Fifth Avenue, their Hamptons house, their yacht, their Monaco house. No, they got grant money, free money.
Oh.
Myanmar, who has slaves right now in those emerald mines, in those ruby mines, in those rare mineral mines. They got slaves over there right now, not black folks, but their own people. They got grants. Meanwhile, we got Susie.
We're gonna take that word. Let's take the words grants, so some people don't know. Let's say free money, because this is what a grant is. It's basically free money that you don't have to pay back to the federal government. Money's allocated to you that you don't pay. So they got free money, and she got.
Oh, hold on. I got it better. They got 400. They got a $5 billion donation. Let's just use donation. They got donation.
Oh, okay. Educate me. I need education.
$1.3 billion in donations. That's what they got from America. We donated money to them. Gave them free money.
Y'all know this video is deep. Please share this video and get the like button.
And y'all up there, and y'all fools up there talking about Trump is a catastrophic threat to democracy. Are you freaking insane? You better get up off the damn live feed. We don't even talk to them at this point. We ain't even talking to them no more. I'm done. I'm done.
I know some of you guys said, what's going to happen January 6th? I think I might do a whole nother video on that, but I want to address what the president said today. If you're watching this video, thank you, Misinformation, for watching. Some of you guys are out there, you're watching and sharing this video. We're trying to provide you clarity. We're trying to help white people tonight. We're trying to help white Americans who are in a state of shock, who have learned that they too have tribal black blood in them, that they have treasonous people in this country who've given their country away. And they've given their country away because this woman is an example, because I'm not going to pivot away from it. She's aligned herself with employees who are probably immigrants and illegals. With a combination of both, as long as they provided a social security number, she didn't care to check to verify if it was real or not, because they do that. You say, hey, I got this social security number. I don't know if they're legal or not, but they work. In the meantime, they're speaking Spanish to each other. They learned all her recipes. They learned all of her ways. They learned how to manage her business. They learned how to do that system in the computers. Becky, let me wake you up. This is the wake up moment for white America. Here comes the moment. I want you all to understand. Gavin Newsom and Eric Garcetti and Nancy Pelosi and Camilla wannabe Black Harris and Joe Biden are part of the Cold War movement, which is meaning that China and California, who are heavily engulfed in California, who I did a video on, and I told you the Paper Sun, when they came here, many of them are here illegally and taught scripts to their people to get them in place to do what they're doing right now. China's in Africa. China is in different parts of the world, and they are looking for global warning and global control. And California has become the template. So what they have done is colluded with these treasonous elected officials. Listen to what I'm saying. And again, this is just my opinion. This is nothing of truth. This could be alleged. This could be a alleged situation I'm about to tell you. But from my perspective, allegedly, what I'm saying and what I'm observed from being a constituent born and raised and native of California is that the Chinese who have come here that you don't know in the other parts of the United States speak fluent Spanish. And they have been talking and colluding with these Latinos. And they have the money to buy her out. They have money to take her business, which they are going to do.
And you know how they're going to do it? They're going to do it like this. She's going to be so...
Hold on, Reflection. She didn't keep a black chef. She probably could have had a good black cook. She didn't have that. She had some Latin cook, but she couldn't bring him back. She had to put that apron on and get in the back and make her own family recipes again. But guess up, little Karen or Patty or whatever your name is, dear. I hate to give you the flagship and Shirley move, but we're going to help you out. These Chinese people are going to buy you out, take your business, pillage your land. And the same thing to the little Becky over at the Pineapple Hill Saloon. Somebody let her know that the Chinese people are going to come knock on your door one day. They're going to come in like the mafia of the days of old. And they're going to say, how much you want for your business? How much you want for your business? We will buy your business out. You could get all your debt, all your loans, all your loss. You have a lot of loans, right? You have loans, right? Yes, I do have loans. I'm hurting right now. Oh, you had loans. We pay all your bills. We pay all your bills and we give you money on top of that. Just sign this paper right here. We buy everything. Now you're mentally distraught and you see no other way of getting out. The state ain't stepping in at all because they have colluded and treasonous acts already with other alleged things going on that you guys don't want to acknowledge, including AKA Biden and his family. And still, you are in a state of shock. You're going to sign those papers. And then you're going to come back in a month and you're going to look up, your name is still on the building because you sold the name of the building. And you're going to walk in and you're going to sit down and you're going to say, wait a minute, the menu is still the same. Wait a minute, there's Juan, there's Maria. These are my employees.
Juan, Pepe, Luis.
And wait a minute, they're serving my family recipes. What's going on here? Well, you know, you don't own anything here. We bought everything from you. You don't own nothing. But why are you guys so excited? Oh, they came back and they reached out to me. Well, how did they know? How to get so many of you guys back here? Because they've been talking to them in Spanish, bitch.
Yes. Yep.
They've been aiding and abetting and colluding against you, white Becky. White people, you stupid. You stupid white people. You don't even know these Chinese people have been talking for years. I remember going to the alley going, you know, there's a place called the Alley, which is downtown LA, and they sell clothes. And I couldn't believe how fluent the Chinese spoke Spanish.
Oh, yes.
They know these people are the worker bees. And they say, we own the building, we own the business, we have the cash. Now you go back to work, Latino man, or whoever, El Salvador and Guadalajara and whatever the hell you are. Go ahead.
And also, and think about this too. Remember when all that fentanyl was coming into the country? It was coming from China. Well, guess how it was coming up in here? It came in from Mexico. Guess what? You have to speak in Mexico in order to get things done. You have to speak Spanish. Oh, so what you think that the Chinese about translators? No, they took their motherfucking asses and said, sit your ass down and say habla Espanol and you learn. That's how it gets done. They ain't playing. They're not playing. And now that, well, I don't know what's going to happen with President Trump, but that's why they all had to work to get President Trump out of there because Trump was messing up the whole hustle. And that's what no one understands. But guess what, whites, what y'all gonna understand in like 4 years? Y'all gonna know what we was talking about. I tell you that much. But we gonna be all right though, Shirley. That's why I ain't tripping. We lasted through slavery. You can't get through that. No, miss me, CC Charez. We ain't even trying to hear you right now. Miss me with all of that. Miss me with all that. We ain't trying to hear any of that. So if you mad about it, goodbye. Miss me with all that.
I'm not trying to be racist. I mean, I'm trying to help y'all out. This is a setup for business owners in California and across the country. These people from other countries have been aiding and abetting. They have been having conversations and convoluting behind your back. And now that the states, not the Fed, not President Trump, have decided not to let you have money other through loans, and then they're drying that loan up. They're sucking the loan money from you to be COVID compliant. And then when you become COVID compliant, they won't let you open. Oh, that's a racket.
Yeah. And let's be clear. We use terms Becky and Karen, and we use the word Tyrell and Keisha. Okay. So it ain't derogatory. We are using references so we can make things easier. If you take it offensive, get your snowflake behind off the page. It is way too serious to be dealing with your snowflake ass, CC Charez. Bye. Okay.
It's a wrap. You got that right. It's a wrap. Because what they don't, it's too late now. Now she's heavily indebted. She had to take a personal loan, and she had to take the COVID loan, and she has to pay all that back. And she can't even make the money to pay it back. Oh,
no.
A wrap, boo boo. It's a wrap. And you know,
that's what happened to our businesses. They did us the exact same way in the 60s, in the 70s. And it's the same thing over and over and over again. Period. And they said in the 60s, it was Mayor Bradley and Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton who did the work. Now it's Gavin Newsom, it's Mayor Garcetti, and oh God, what's her name? Jackie Lacey. Well, I think it's a new DA now, because Jackie Lacey, the DA, she's doing the legal cover to protect the city from any kind of lawsuits and stuff like that. So it's a wrap. They're not going to have any kind of legal precedent to sue the city. They're going to claim pandemic. They're going to say, oh, well, the federal government, they're going to put it all in, oh, well, the federal government told us to do this, the state government told us to do this. They're going to get it all caught up in all kind of legalese of blaming each other, to where you're going to spend millions and millions of dollars in 20, 30 years in court just trying to find out who's responsible, but then everyone's going to be gone. So it's a wrap for you. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Let me tell you, there's another state too. I want to pivot to Colorado real quick, because this whole Becky Karen situation, they keep showing you, and it's interesting, the media lend towards white women. What about white men? Because white men are hurting too. But they pick these white women to show their business owner, and I almost think it's almost like a liberal move, right? These liberals want white women hurting, and if they cry long enough, they're gonna change something. Boo boo, they ain't changing nothing.
And also the black businesses like Keisha and Darnell's businesses, they just don't put them up there because no one cares. Like, bye, you're supposed to lose your business. And so they're trying to use Becky and Karen to show sympathy. But I don't have any sympathy. I don't care, because these are the same people who have been telling us, I got an idea to those people. Work harder, pull your pants up, quit complaining, get a job. Every time we complain about the same issues, that's what y'all told us. Guess what? Back at you. Get a job. Pull your pants up. Speak clear English. Work hard. Study in school.
See, ignorance is bliss. But I kind of agree with you, Flashy, but I'm going to have a little sympathy. Let me tell you why. Because white people have embedded racism. And I wrote an article a while back in the Washington Times, and I called it I said embedded racism. Embedded racism means that for some reason, you've always thought you were better, and you didn't know why, but you always thought you were better. It's under that almost mindset of the caste system. Caste system was also during the biblical days, so y'all need to study that whole thing.
Yep.
It was during the biblical days as well. And they had slaves in the biblical days as well. So there's a mindset of a culture of people who have this mentality of, oh, it's them, it's not me. That's going to happen to them and not me. And now you live in America that is so divided and so unaligned with the Constitution and not understanding law, and people don't read. And you just assume these people are going to work in your best interest. And Trump just exposed them. Trump just came out and said, fuck you. You are not going to take me down like this. Bitch, I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm a multi-billionaire. And not only am I going to not go out easily, I'm going to expose every one of you last MRFers who wasted the American people's time all during COVID and came up with a bill just to aid and abet free money to other people, while other American people, like we just saw this business owner, go heavily in debt, and she's going to lose her business to the Chinese, because eventually they will break you mentally. These people are being broken mentally. This is going to be I'm sorry. Don't get mad, white America. And especially how they keep perpetrating, showing women. But there are white women and men in this country who have embedded racism and entitlement mentality. And it's shocking this system, because that don't work no more. Nope. Just like Bishop said, you have now become one of your distant black cousins. Now, let's just keep it real. Let me show you what happened in Colorado. Colorado also was so kind enough to vote for the crazy Biden. Now, allegedly, they voted for Sleepy Joe. And they said Sleepy Joe is going to grow the country. It's going to help them with their business. They're going to do well. And so there are many people who opened up their business. Let me show you one.
Well, but hold on. But I thought we were going to build back and build back better. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Build back better?
This lady, this video was taped Okay, this video came out July 15, 2020. Watch. Okay.
Hi, this is Sharon and Mary with the Chamber of Commerce. We're going into Boat Barn Bagel Co. Let's go talk to the owner.
She's got her mask on.
Hey, it smells here. It smells so good in here. Oh, welcome to the Boat Barn. And so today was your first day? Today was the first day, and we were open for a couple hours today. Didn't tell anybody. I was trying to be sneaky about it, which didn't work. I saw them lined up this morning. It was a bit of a line. It's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good problem to have. Good. So tell us, what was it like today? I mean, it was chaotic. You know, I think on your first day, all the things that can go wrong do, and they did. That's okay. To include my oven deciding to stop working in the middle of baking bagels this morning. Oh, so now that we've jumped over that hurdle, tomorrow should be easier. Now you can tackle anything. Yeah, so now we got it. Yeah. Coronavirus in an oven that won't work. I think we're good now. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And you pretty much sold out of everything, is that right? We sold out of everything but 5 bagels. Wow. I'm going to be taking one of those bagels with me to come to see. I'll send it with you. Okay. I hope you like onion. That's what's left. Yeah, I'll take onion.
So tell us about what inspired you to start a bagel shop in Canyon City.
I think Canyon City needed a bagel shop. I guess the bigger story is that I feel like there's a lot of outdoor rec that happens here, and there's a big disconnect between not only the local community and what we can do in our own backyard, but also the people who come here to do those things. They don't.
Okay, so I'm going to stop this video. You guys said, where am I going? Hold your thought. I'm going to help you out. So when you open a business, this is an afterthought. These things take time. She probably had been working on this from probably 2 to 3 years. Securing the location, the camera spanned and showed you this beautiful facility, making sure that she got her branding right. Boat Barn Bagels had this BB movement. Her energy was up and high. She was excited. COVID hit, obviously. They're living in COVID times. And people had masks on. They were excited. She was excited. This was in July. But then what happened in Colorado? COVID hit harder. They shut her down. So now she's got to pay the money. She's getting distressed. Watch this video. That was then, and this is now. I want you to hear the story. This video came out in November. Same year, COVID, July. This is November, same year. This is the same woman's business.
A tragic story out of Canyon City that raises questions about the impact of COVID beyond the risk of catching the virus. A shop owner took her own life, and her mother blames COVID-19. In Canyon City, looking into what happened. Just a terrible story, Bill.
Yeah, it is. We've been standing here on Main Street, and multiple people have asked us what we're doing. And when we tell them we're relaying the story of Rochelle Rotto, everyone has said, I knew her. She was an amazing person. This town is shaken by what has happened here. They're also concerned as they see the COVID numbers rising in Colorado. We introduced Rochelle in the spring because she was just opening her Boat Barn Bagel shop when the pandemic hit. It was a tough start, but it seemed to be going okay. Then unpredicted regulations and sudden changes made it really tough to keep going. Her mom says one example is when schools told students they had to isolate. Suddenly the shop lost all of its employees. Rochelle took her own life. Last week, her mother went to city council. Last week is when she took her life. Her mother went to city council this week to say COVID regulations need to consider financial and mental impact.
The financial toll to her was huge. And it's my opinion that she's a casualty of COVID.
It really came apparent this last week that we also need to think about the mental health for our community and our small business owners.
Many other Canyon.
Mental health. What community has been hit the hardest with mental health for decades? African American people. Let's keep going.
City small business owners also gave input at that same city council meeting. City leaders are looking for ways to expand financial aid and looking into programs like a pool of available people who could step in if workers suddenly have to quarantine because of COVID. Canyon City's mayor has also been very active in getting in touch with the governor's office. She's been speaking with his staff, asking them to not treat Canyon City, a small town, the same way that we look at big cities. We have heard much more from both of them on what they would like to see. We'll have that for you tonight at 10. Watching out for you, Canyon City. Bill Folsom, News 5.
But Shirley, you know what's so interesting about the whole thing is that look at these news reporters and these politicians. They didn't miss a beat. You go to like Washington, D.C., those D.C. businesses that those senators go through, they're not COVID compliant. Remember Nancy Pelosi in her damn place? They fine. They're not COVID compliant. This is the goal of this whole thing. And let me be very, very clear. I do believe the virus is real. My whole debate is I believe that it was released. I don't think that it was something that came out of nothing. I believe it was released in order to do everything that it's doing right now. Because there's groups, people are getting paid normal. There are groups of people that didn't miss a beat. But what they're doing is they're taking out small businesses. They're taking out all these other groups and things of that nature. And so my whole point is this: her having to close down her business. That was all this stuff is happening by design. By design. Because then what happens is because think about it. If you really want to fix people with COVID, why in the hell are you giving free money to Egypt and Pakistan for gender studies? $560 billion for the FBI.
Hold up. This poor woman who was excited, who was bright, who had a concept. She put time into her brand.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Beautiful place.
It was
beautiful place.
I
want to eat. I'll eat bagels off the ground in that place.
Oh my God! It was clean. Did you see that?
It was beautiful.
Look what has happened. Not only did COVID take her out, she took online. It is affecting people mentally.
Yes.
Of them not giving small business owners money. What kind of America is that?
But here's the thing. But also on what I was just saying too is let's keep on that point that you just made. That is obvious. I'm not even a politician. I'm not even I'm getting ready to be a business owner. That is obvious. And these politicians understand that. They completely understand that. But the thing is, they don't want them to be fined. The whole purpose is to they don't want that. Look at the bagel factory. It was a very catchy name. I really like it. They don't want that. They want Noah's Bagels, Einstein's Bagels. They want these big bagel brands to be it. They don't want small business. That's the whole goal of these Democrats, these socialists. They don't like small business. So the COVID, all this stuff that's happening, the shutdown, all this, it's happening by design.
I really believe that. Because why would you do this to this woman? Why would you allow this to happen? Hey, you guys, if you want to come in the stream, I'm going to talk a little bit longer. We will take questions and answer anything that again, going back to the beginning of this video, we shared how President Trump, again, let me share a little bit of that. And I really want Flagship to elaborate a little bit more. I'm going to play President Trump one more time. I want you to understand the money that he is talking about is free money that is going to other countries. And that these women that we showed you, I showed you 3 women, one that showed you how they are using other companies, COVID compliance. And if you're not COVID compliant, you're in trouble. That was the first lady, right? And also how certain people are exempt, right? You're exempt or you're not exempt. That was the exemption lady. The second business owner I showed you, she expected loyalty from illegal immigrants. And I'm telling you, here's an example how this woman's going to lose her business and she's going to sell out to the Chinese because the Chinese are buying up everything. Okay. They're going to try to buy up everything and they're going to buy up the state of California and they're going to speak Spanish. And I believe, and they're going to have an alliance with these Latins and whoever else they hire. And here's another woman in Colorado. You saw her happy and just bright and beautiful. She killed herself. The mental strain that is upon this country is unacceptable. Monies that should be allocated and given to the American people first. America first. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice and domestic tranquility. There is no tranquility in America because we have aligned ourselves with elected officials who are aiding and abetting, who are treasonous. But many of you see the will. And many of you voted for Biden. Many of you voted for Gavin Newsom. She probably voted for Gavin Newsom. She probably voted for Aaron.
Yep.
And then you want to know why your business is going up, going under. You voted for candidates. You didn't want Meg Whitman. She's a businesswoman. You had a chance to put someone like her in office. You didn't want her. You chose to have
Jerry Brown,
and Jerry Brown during that era. You wanted him to come back. Old moonbeam Jerry Brown. Well, now look where you're at, California. 6% blacks. There's no blacks in California. Look at the homeless rate. We got people living on the streets and under the freeways. And then they're sleeping in front of businesses, and they put these big old trees and blocks in front of businesses to stop the homeless from pissing and peeing in front of their business. Your infrastructure is disrupted and corrupted, and you want to know why? And we've had black people with mental problems for decades. They were like you. They had a business. They had a dream. They took debts and loans out like you. But
and the thing is, there was no COVID-19. There was no COVID-19 regulations. They just made up regulations to take us out. They just made up off the fly.
Exactly. Now, fast forward, you have collusion from Republicans and Democrats. And when you listen to President Trump, he's talking about this money. This ain't no loan. This is straight out money that was basically going to be given.
Cruelly blocked COVID relief legislation in an effort to advance their extreme left-wing agenda and influence the election. Then, a few months ago, Congress started negotiations on a new package to get urgently needed help to the American people.
Urgently needed help.
Taken forever.
Urgently.
However, the bill they are now planning to send back to my desk is much different than anticipated. It really is a disgrace. For example, among the more than 5,000 pages in this bill, which nobody in Congress has read because of its length and complexity, it's called the COVID Relief Bill, but it has almost nothing to do with COVID. This bill contains $85.5 million for assistance to Cambodia, $134 million to Burma, $1.3 billion for Egypt and the Egyptian military, which will go out and buy almost exclusively Russian military equipment, $25 million for democracy and gender.
And it goes on and on and on. I had to play that again so you guys understand that money is not going into the pockets of business owners. Instead, they want business owners to take more loans out.
And that lady, what's that lady's name? Boat Bagel Barn, or
it's called Barn Bagel. Barn Bagels.
Barn Board Bagels. Yeah, I like that. And it looked clean. See, that money could have went to her business. Say, look, her whole entire world could have been changed. They could have went to her and said, look, you got to shut down. But what we're going to do is we're going to we're going to pay your debt while you're shut down. You're shut down. So when you open back up, you can start where you left off, and you won't be having to worry about this debt and stuff. Now, of course, she's going to be upset, because she can't do anything, but at least she doesn't have that financial burden that she would normally have. But what they did was they said, you still got to pay the debt. You got to keep your business closed, but you still got to pay the debt. That don't make no sense. That's why I'm telling you, this thing was planned. That doesn't make economic sense. If you have no income coming in and you're being forced to shut down, how in the hell are you going to pay your damn bills? When you're forcing people to stay in the damn house. This whole thing is planned. Because guess what? $1.3 billion Anderson Cooper, he's still getting his check from CNN. All them politicians, they still getting their checks. Hollywood's still getting their checks, because guess what? They switched to streaming, and they're still on the set kissing each other, doing sex scenes and all that kind of stuff. They're still getting paid, aren't they?
Yeah, they're exempt because they, there's something that we definitely need. That's some bullshit.
That's
sorry.
Some bullshit. Boat Barn Bagels. You know what? That's messed up. That is messed up.
Shout out
you know what? But at the same,
love you, baby. Go ahead.
But at that same junction, guess what? She probably was going to vote for Joe Biden. and she probably voted for these Democrats. And honestly, just a little thing. I just want to just let you say, what was I going to say? About Meg Whitman. Okay. Yeah. Meg Whitman messed up. She came out way too hot. All Meg Whitman had to do was say, I am Meg Whitman. I built eBay. Done. She could have just walked into the governor's mansion in California. But whoever ran her campaign, Shirley, she was just doing dos de mucho.
Yeah,
I couldn't mess with her.
I understand the insights of it a little bit, enough to know that you're absolutely right. There were things that she had a lot of missteps, and she didn't cater to blacks either. She got caught up into this whole thing of hiring illegals and a Mexican maid or something, and it kind of dismantled her as well. But look, even so, you're not going to vote for candidates who are going to be in alliance with what works in your best interest. You're just going to vote based on the emotion of they're a Republican and they're a Democrat. That's an idiotic concept and way of thinking. You have to think in a manner of, if I'm going to vote for this person, will it advance my life? Will it help me? Even if you don't own a business, you want businesses to do well in your community because it maintains the value of your lifestyle and even your homes. Even if you don't own a home, you still want a certain lifestyle to be in place. But we are disrupted by immigrants, illegal immigrants, aiding and abetting, and treasonous people. So this is a 3D game of chess that Trump just exposed. And let me say this to you. If Trump is able to pull this rabbit out of the hat and become reelected, I really believe that what's going to end up happening is going to go to Congress. They're going to all have to get a one vote, and they're going to take this to the Supreme Court. This will go, in some way, he's getting to the Supreme Court. Everywhere he gets knocked down and it didn't get there, it is going to go to the Supreme Court. Once it goes to the Supreme Court, it's going to be ruled by the Supreme Court that because of all the fraud, because of all the voter tampering and the election and how it's been set up, he will be president. But if all else fails, don't get this twisted, whoever's listening. This president is not going out easy. He is going to tear and shred this country of every identity and information that you never knew about. He knows. That is why Nancy Pelosi tweeted immediately, you know what, let's have a conversation, like, whoa, you need to pull it back. You need to pull it back. That's what she's trying to say. Trump said, oh no, I'm not pulling anything back. Because you think I'm going out, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to sit back on the sidelines. I'm just going to be lollygagging about this job. Oh, bitch, you are so wrong. Yes. This president is so on his A game because he thrives on this. This is what this man lives for. This man looked like he done sat in the sun and lost some weight. Do you look at his face? Did that man look like a man that was stressed the hell out? He ain't stressed the hell out. He never had to stress the hell out. All else failed, bitch, he will go back into his mansion and his money, and he will continue to start a whole new news media himself. Who knows what Trump has behind the scenes? But I will tell you this much. As of today, he is still president of the United States of America. The world is watching, and the 3D chess move that this man just made is causing people not to sleep tonight, and they don't know what to do. Flagship, you got 3 minutes. Go ahead, close them out. We're gonna close.
Well, I just want to just say that, and I think honestly that because you got to also look at what's being said. Remember, Joe Biden sat there and told the civil rights leaders that Black folks don't matter and that they got to go talk to the immigrant and Latino community. Then you have the fact that they're going to sit there and not help Black businesses during the COVID pandemic, and then you have this. Then you have this happening. So this is a trifecta. The Democrats, even if the Democrats do get in office, their constituents, because the Black community is furious right now, because they're like, wait a minute, we did all this shadiness for you, all this ballot stuffing for you, allegedly, all this other stuff for you. You ain't gonna meet with us, you ain't gonna hook us up or nothing like that. So obviously, I'm glad Trump did this, because this is the kind of kick in the face that we freaking need. These people are the most, and I'm telling you, and to your crowd, I know you have a lot of conservatives and they're not the non-racist. You have a lot of non-racist white people that listen to your crowd. Let me tell you something. Don't you ever let these liberals call you no damn racist. If you need help, you call my behind up and I will do the conversation for you. There is no one more racist than a damn liberal, period. period.
Well, I sure appreciate you being on with me tonight. Listen, family, I want you guys to continue to pray. The word of God says God has not left us nor forsaken us, that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. Many of you guys feel like you're losing your mind right now. Many of you guys are frustrated right now, and rightfully so. But you do not need to live in fear. For greater is he within you. Remember, the scripture also said that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You ask God for understanding. You lean not unto your own understanding. We all need to embrace our spiritual being right now, right? Spirit, soul, body, and mind. Spirit, soul, body, and mind. Because what COVID has done, it has made us all look in the mirror. I don't want to hear any more tragic stories like Boat-Borne Bagel in Colorado. Shout out to that mother who lost her daughter. That is not the story I wanted to hear, but I wanted you to understand the mental anguish of COVID. This was a healthy woman. This was an excited woman. But when she opened up, she could not handle the pressures like this lady who we saw, this Italian lady, I'm assuming she's Italian, the second woman I showed you in the video, who's managing and juggling the loans from her business to her house, to the lack of loyalty of her employees who probably know all of her secret recipes and everything. And she's going to be in another state of shock when she realized that those same people will come back and work for the new owner who will probably buy her out of her debt. We as American people are being put in debt by elected officials who are treasonous, who created this country to start moving into aiding and abetting other countries. We're now under the Biden administration. We are going to be focusing on foreign affairs. We're going to be focusing on helping China. We're going to be focusing on more China collusions and other manners that Mr. Trump had mentioned as far as weaponry. White Americans don't understand that in California, they are selling the country off. Do you know on the Long Beach pier, the ports, that the Chinese have bought all that up? They got to the point they bought so much land that the government made them revert it back to the state. They said, you cannot sell that much land off. Do you know?
Are you serious, Shirley?
In Texas, you guys look this up because I'm trying to end this video. Yes, I'm very serious. In Killeen, Texas, the Chinese just bought, I think, almost 200 acres of land near a military base. We never let foreign soil get that close to owning land on military bases, but they did in Texas. They are moving chess moves in our country. They are buying our country. They are forcing us to take on debt. Who's going to pay off their debt? We are, because we're giving free money to foreign countries, but we are embedding debt and loans upon the American people. I don't care if it's 2 or 3%. Like Flagship stated, they're getting free money that President Trump exposed. He exposed the free money. And what we're trying to expose is the slave labor of white America. Last thing I want to share with you, and I forgot, I need to show you this story. When I talk about white America and Black America, there's two different Americans because you run this country. But what you white people don't get, I'm going to help you out, is the unspoken law of understanding that the Blacks who are descendants of slaves are related to you. And they're related to you because of the surname. And that's the last name. I'm going to read this article to you, and I want to close out so that you have a clarity of the unspoken history behind Black people and whites in this country. And many white people always say, why do you say that? We're all the same. No, we're not the same. We're family. But because you dismantled this country and you've allowed other people to win in this country, this is what's happened. I want to read this article from a professor in Harvard University.
And when a Harvard University student recently inquired about my name, she was clear that she wanted to know about my surname. She repeated it 3 times out loud and then began probing for something deeper.
This was a professor, and there was a girl who yelled out, your last name, it's similar to mine. Tell me. I don't get it. Listen, I'm going somewhere with the story. Just listen.
She didn't have to say it, but I knew she was trying to better understand my heritage and ethnic background. My surname, Bowen, is puzzling. And for some, it doesn't match my physical presence. When I'm in the Boston region, people ask me if it's French and I think they are trying to determine if my heritage is Haitian. Others will ask if it's Celtic, a question that would connect me to the Irish.
Okay, this is the professor, because the student is asking this question. Listen.
The truth is, my last name was probably supposed to be Bowen, but somewhere in the past someone misspelled it and the lives of my family clan were forever changed. This was a common occurrence. Some Southern African Americans struggled with literacy after emancipation, and so names took on new spellings. In other cases, white officials didn't bother to document the correct spellings on public records, and the mistakes live on.
Okay, African Americans in the South, descendants of slaves, listen, this all ties together. After the emancipation, we took our slave owner's name, okay, so that you could know that slave was owned by the Jacksons or the Johnsons. He's sharing how the names changed. This all is effective. I continue to go on and listen. This is important. This is a very important part of the story because it relates to why we are in this situation now. Because many of you guys don't even know that Black people are related to white people and we're your cousins. But the money's allocated not for us, that went to foreigners who people are in this country who do not believe in assimilating. They don't believe in associating. They don't believe in family for America. They believe in family for themselves. And now you have white treasonous people running this country. But I want you to leave with one thing to understand. The Blacks in this country are related to you, and we need to heal America between Blacks and whites before we can do anything else. If we don't heal our relationships, we are going to continue to have this division, and it's not going to be good. Let's listen.
I learned this when I tried to research the history of my last name. In this country, there are hundreds of Bowens, yet my immediate relatives are the only people I have found with that Bowen last name. I explained this all to the young, curious student. I went on to tell her that the Bowen surname came to my people through marriage. Before we were Bowens, we were Norwoods and Wakefields, rooted in a small town in western North Carolina, near the mountains. Those names are connected back to England. Those are my people, I told her. I know some Norwoods and some Wakefields from western North Carolina, she piped up, almost with an instant giddy excitement. It seemed that for a moment she thought we had found common ground. I'm sure she thought that maybe we knew some of the same people. The next sentence she almost whispered, but they're white. As we both stood in the silence, we didn't speak about the legacy of American slavery.
Listen.
Yet this is the moment when race and what it means to be African American comes creeping into the most fleeting of encounters. It's these unexpected confrontations with history that trigger what writer and social commentator James Baldwin called the constant state of rage. I didn't tell the student that during slavery, African Americans were assigned names by their owners, and many times didn't even have a surname, records show. I didn't talk about how those residents were at times given the last name of their owner so that they could be identified as the white family's property. I also didn't bother to talk about how, even after the 13th Amendment brought enslaved people a form of freedom, some chose the plantation name as their last name in order to reveal where they were from. Black people held on to these names for many reasons, one being the hope to reunite with other family members who would only be able to identify them by these familiar markers. These are the names that so many Black Americans still wear. The decision to stay bound to these names is deeply personal. I would never change my name, even if I'm married, mainly because it connects me to a fragmented people. It is the name that binds us together, and I hold on to hope that my relatives, disconnected long ago, can locate me through that shared legacy. It is in these innocent moments that the troubling history of this country becomes real and the residue reveals itself as still present. I've never been ashamed that I am a descendant of people who were enslaved. Yet it is in subtle, seemingly innocent moments that the drama strikes me. I began to feel weighted as I stood staring at the college-age woman with a classic, sophisticated Latin name that means purity. I felt the weariness of being pushed into an emotional space and frustrated from having to contemplate whether to delve deeper into a topic I didn't expect during idle small talk. Then I remembered that this history is one we don't like to discuss anyway. We were only making small talk. There's probably a relationship between the two families, the African-American one and the white one, I remember telling the student, but I don't know exactly, specifically, what it is. And then to be polite, we left the rest unspoken and parted ways.
The rest unspoken and parted ways. Again, Harvard University, James Baldwin, the topic. I want you to understand that there are many white Americans who don't understand Black history. And when he started laying out the facts, there were a couple of things he said. He said white family property. Did you catch that? He also said markers. These were markers. I'm going fast. I'm sorry. I know it's late and I'm just trying to end this video, but this was on my mind and I needed to get this off my chest. This is why I'm doing this video late at night, and shockingly, I'm still up. And I thank God and praise God for each one of y'all who have supported me. Thank you for liking and sharing this video right here. He says the last name of these owners could be identified as white family property. Property. Remember, I told you Black people are not illegal or immigrants. We are commoditized good, trades, and service. So the surnames were recorded of the Jacksons and the Johnsons and the Websters and the Jones and the Smith. These were slave masters who had these names, and these people took them on. And then he says, and they can identify them by their family markers. This was the mark that was put upon this because Blacks had no last name. We were property. We were not even considered human. We were less than animals. And then you wonder why people talk about reparations, and you wonder why Black people talk about executive orders and bills that are not put in place. And you just want to have a plan. President Trump could have done better by executing some type of executive order and putting a new Black cabinet into place. He did not, because he was guided and misguided by poor advisors, Black advisors who could have done better with this administration. I would hope the latter would happen, that if this man is able to obtain and regain his presidency back, that he would not obtain and stay with those same Negroes who did nothing for us. Because many of you do not understand that the Black man is your cousin. The Black blood in your skin could be Black too. You white people might have Black blood in you and you don't even know it because you haven't done your genealogy. We're talking about DNA. I'm talking about genealogy. Going back to the Emancipation, going back to the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment, and understanding those amendments and how they were written for descendants of slaves. While you're so afraid of the Negro behind you, you ain't paying attention to the Chinese Cold War that is upon you. Hello, everybody got quiet in the chat room. You don't understand that these foreigners don't want you, don't like you. They just want your opportunity. They want your infrastructure of the Constitution. When we talk about capitalism in America, they like capitalizing off of America to inbound and grow their countries and make us a third world country. But woe be unto white America who abandoned their Black cousin. Because of you, you are marked with a curse, and your land and your village are being pillaged over, and rightfully so, because you abandoned your Black cousin. You didn't even add any money or value to their community. You keep saying, get out there, work hard, and pimp that ideology of struggle and hustle just to be a cage hamster on a treadmill. Because that's how you treat the Negro. In the meantime, you sit down with the Arabs and the Asians and the Latinos and you give them jobs. And then you wonder why, when COVID hit and you look in the mirror, why these people ain't loyal to you. Because they're not loyal to America. Where the hell you think I'm going to go? I'm born and raised in this country. I am a descendant of slaves. I can trace my family back to 1854 in Beaumont, Texas.
Bam.
From Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi. I got family from Georgia.
Montana, Blackfoot Indians. Blackfoot Indians.
Blackfoot Indians. I got that in me. Cherokee in me. You'd rather help everybody else but a nigga. You'd rather help them and step over and snoot your nose over and help these El Salvadorans and Guadalajara, these people who have babies illegitimately, and just grab some childs and rape them and pillage your village. It's coming to you because you're cursed. And you expect me to sit here and say nothing? This is what the president just exposed to you. Free money given to foreign soil to empower them over you. Wake up, white America. You the new nigga. I'm done. Y'all have a beautiful night. Make sure you share and like this video and leave your comments. And again,
thanks, Shirley.
I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm being truthful. Yes, go ahead, Flasher.
Oh, I was saying thank you very much. Have a good night.
Good night. Thank you, family.